Silk for €31,000. 16 kilograms of cashmere. 604 hours of handwork. Pure luxury. The royal bed. Price €150,000. Sleeping comfortably as a work of art. The world's most expensive mass-produced bed costs as much as an entire house. But what makes it so expensive? We accompanied the production of the luxury bed. Its story begins here, in London's probably most famous hotel, the Savoy.
Good morning, sir. Welcome to the Savoy.
Famous not only for its celebrity guests, but also for its completely handmade luxury beds, worth up to €50,000. And this is exactly the model for our royal bed. The manufacturer, the Savoy Company, wanted to make it into a serial bed, the most expensive in the world. The luxury bed is manufactured here, in Royal London. The factory of Savoy, the luxury bed maker. Quite inconspicuous from the outside, but inside, real luxury furniture is made. You won't find any machines. What counts is craftsmanship. And it's the work of the 16 best bed makers in the world, brought together from all nations around the globe. Together, they build the royal bed, inspired by the preferences of 17th and 18th century kings. And he designed it, the Lord of the Beds, Alistair Hughes.
At that time, the kingdom was literally ruled from the bedroom. The bedroom was the centre of power, the centre of politics, and anyone who was important to get close to the king would have to visit the king in the king's bedroom. The bed was actually much more important than the throne. And even if the king wasn't in it, you were required to bow down before it because it was so important. It was a symbol of state. We should make something for today that fitted with the same ethos, the same idea of having the very best, but make it suitable for today's.
Following this idea, a unique bed was created on paper. Unique also in its price, €150,000. And he breathed life into the paper sketch, carpenter Jitendra Chatralia. In the carpenter's workshop, every piece of beechwood for the royal bed is made by hand. Mass-produced goods are taboo. For the carpenter, more passion than just a job.
I'm like a born carpenter and joiner. All my forefathers, they were carpenters and joiners. So basically, it's in our blood, and I've been doing this for all my life.
His hands correct the slightest irregularity. He is convinced no machine could do it as perfectly as he does. Even for the frame, the foundation of the most expensive bed in the world, Savoy only trusts a master of his trade. Bedmaker Pat O'Reilly, one of the few specialists in this craft. Conventional beds have the springs in the mattress, over time uncomfortable for the sleeper. In the royal bed, they are placed in the bed frame, an ancient technique, but it does have its pitfalls.
What's important is that they don't move. That's why we have this on here as well, because metal against wood will make it squeak. So you've got to have a layer in between to stop it squeaking. That one's gone. But the only thing you have to be careful of is watch your fingers.
He doesn't think much of modern techniques. Pat binds every single spring by hand. It's not speed that counts here, but quality. A bed-making heritage for Pat.
It's a very old traditional technique. This is how antique furniture would have been done in years past. It's a very old technique. No one really does it no more.
It takes Pat up to 4 hours to fit the springs. A lot of work, but what's the advantage?
Well, to keep every spring straight and level, so whenever the mattress sits on top, it moves straight up and down instead of from side to side. So it takes all the weight and makes the mattress and the base last longer.
Our bed already costs just under €5,000, as much as a motor scooter. But it's supposed to last 25 years, that's the promise. But that takes time. Up to 20 hours just for the bed base. Even the corners are filled with real pony hair, and that takes time. At this price, the future customer shouldn't see any edges, and above all, they shouldn't feel them. Where we mere mortals have a slatted frame, the mattress in the royal bed lies on this handcrafted bed base, covered with fine fabric. It really is one of a kind. Now it's time for the heart of our luxury bed, the mattress. And so we come to him, bedmaker Vernal Brown. He works on just one unit for several days. Normal mattresses often have a synthetic core, such as cold foam. Unthinkable for Vernal. He believes in natural materials. They are more durable and, of course, in his own experience,
if you don't work precise, of the job won't finish good, isn't it? It's to make certain that it's precise. Nice.
every mattress has its own blueprint. The first layer is the top on the finished mattress. For a €150,000 bed, it has to be extra soft. And that's only possible with cashmere. And with an impressive 16 kilograms of the precious wool. Total price €4,800. A cotton blanket protects the expensive layer from the next one. This is made of horse tail hair. Normal horse hair is just not good enough. The strands from the tail are 4 times as expensive. €800 per kilogram. Expensive but necessary because it wicks away the 400 millilitres of moisture that we lose during sleep much better than synthetic materials.
It's make it easier and more cushion. You lie in the bed, obviously it makes it really nice. And stuff not sticking or anything. That's why we put this at the bottom first. And then this on top, so no hair would go through it. And it would make the customer feel like they're in heaven.
The horse's tail hair must be combed, just like real hair, by hand of course. Only in this way does it retain its special resilience and spring. Once again, cotton on top. Already twice as many layers as a conventional mattress. The only thing they have in common is the spring core. Conventional mattresses also have one, with a synthetic layer on top, made of latex for example. Not durable enough for our mattress. Here, horsehair envelops the spring core, precision work for a special feeling of comfort.
We want it to be as if you're just floating, and that's the experience we get. We get it so it takes your contours, takes your shape, yet still provides fantastic support. So, true comfort, that's what we're after.
However, the royal bed doesn't yet suggest genuine comfort. Vernal first has to seal the mattress shape using a time-honoured method. Surgical precision for the seam as well. After all, it has to last 25 years. The last step, the buttons, also sewn on by hand of course. They give the mattress its even surface, and then, after more than 100 hours of work, the noble lower bed is finally finished.
Yes, but at the end of the day, the satisfaction comes. As you, as I said, someone will be lying in this bed and feel amazing.
But this fantastic feeling comes at a price. Mattress, including bed frame, now already cost €80,000, as much as a luxury class car. But soft is not soft enough. 2 toppers are still missing. An additional large pillow made of cashmere and horsetail hair, so that nothing hard disturbs the sleep. It takes up to 8 hours to get ready. Not the slightest bump should be left at the end. He makes the bed another €31,000 more expensive, Jan ten Zichov. He covers the entire bed with 2,500 kilometers of silk thread, the distance from Munich to Moscow, an ancient technique with its pitfalls.
Yeah, the main thing is the corners on the edge here. When you start cutting it, make sure you don't cut a lot. It will show off. You have to cut it exactly on the edge here. And one thing as well is the glue. The main thing is the glue. If the glue show off from top, you have to change it.
If silk is glued onto the later canopy crookedly, it's a €31,000 mistake. But if everything is bonded flawlessly, our bed will already cost 110,000 euros, as much as a sports car. Luxury down to the smallest detail, even for the embroidery. This is done here at the Royal School of Needlework, where Princess Kate's wedding dress was embroidered. And by these two ladies, embroiderers Lisa Bilby and Margaret Dyer. The two embroiderers spent over 2 weeks on a plate-sized company logo for the canopy of our royal bed.
Once you get into the stitching, it is quite absorbing and you do kind of totally forget everything around you.
One moment of carelessness and 4,000 euros would be lost. For both of them, it's more than a job, it's a passion.
After a certain number of hours, it's almost like a painting. You've turned the fabric into a beautiful piece of art. So it's really satisfying to create a piece of art from, just some cotton threads and a piece of silk. It's quite amazing, really.
A painting without paint, made only with needle and thread. More than 100 hours of work for such a small detail. Unthinkable for conventional beds. For Savoie, an essential part of their royal bed. Although this jewel only adorns the canopy behind the bed, the rest shines like gold. The wooden components so lovingly worked on at the beginning disappear completely under the silk. The basic framework of the bed, 2 bed boxes. On top of them, 2 mattresses, each made in 100 hours of craftsmanship. The only modern thing, the zip, so that nothing slips out of place. One final layer, the 2 cashmere-filled overlays. And finally, after 604 hours of work, the most expensive serially produced bed in the world is finished. Perfected by cushions and silk blankets. A total of 60 of these beds are to be built. The last order came from America, from a businessman who prefers to remain anonymous. What we do know, however, is the price, 150,000 euros, for 16 kilograms of cashmere, 80 kilograms of horse-tail hair, and 2.5 kilometers of silk thread. Sleeping like real kings, in the royal bed from London.